Hello, everyone, and welcome in once again to another edition of IceCats Insider. I'm the voice of the IceCats, Tom Callahan, joined by head coach Gary Graham. Gary, thanks for joining me. We're working our way into the new year here. It is actually now the official halfway point, at least to the home schedule. When I was kind of looking at the numbers today, this team has played pretty well at home. And I want to talk about that first because we've talked about the growth of the crowds, another record crowd here in Florence on the heels of the one we just set. I mean, the growth has been phenomenal, and fans are showing up right now. So I wanted to start by talking about that and thank the fans, really, because it's been a wonderful turnout.
Yeah, on behalf of myself and the players, it's been very noticeable. We can feel it. The guys are really thriving off of that. We're talking about a lot as a group. And, of course, that puts the expectations, too, on our shoulders. We don't want to let down, the community, right? And I think that was the disappointing thing for us on Saturday night is to get that type of record crowd that we had. And then, of course, not be able to get those points there. And again, play better in the third period, but just didn't have a complete enough game. It is hard to beat the same team 3 times in a row. I don't care what level it is.
Right.
But, again, you want to try to find a way of getting that for the great home fans. But one thing I really love about our group and the fans is if you watch down there, Tom, after the game, how our players interact with these fans and how long the fans stay down there and get autographs and get pictures. And then, of course, as I'm scrolling on my day off on the internet and I'm seeing everything come up on my feeds and stuff, and you see how important that interaction is with our players and these kids in town and the season ticket holders and stuff. And, that's what makes this thing so beautiful is that, with it being a first-year team, how engaging our players are with the community and how the community's giving the love back. Watching that interaction between my guys and the community has been really special.
It's kind of funny because so I've worked at every level from, all the way at the college and the minors all the way up to the NHL. And I can tell you, if you're a fan of the Hurricanes, you don't get this right after a Carolina Hurricanes game. And I think that some people don't necessarily know that. The accessibility here is really top notch.
It is. And, again, I really think for our players, I give them a lot of respect after a tough loss like that on Saturday night, for them to go out there and just really spend that kind of time. Because you got to remember, too, these guys have a personal life, a social life themselves. They have girlfriends waiting on them, wives, loved ones waiting on them. And they just continue to stay out there for long periods of time. And interact with the fans and do those things. So I think that's what makes the character of the guys in the room. They understand what we're trying to build here, and they understand it's about that community engagement, and they're doing a great job with it.
So you do get 2 out of 3 against Danbury. Want to talk about that series. A team you hadn't seen before, and as you said, hey, the focus is on us coming into that series. When you check your notes, as they were coming into the weekend, well, really the week because there was a day in between the games, and now where you finished, what boxes did you check, and which ones did you not?
Well, I just think let's start with the negative first, and then we'll go to the positive. The negative is just that we're trying to get that killer instinct of our team, understanding when you have your opponent down and try to push that threshold, right? You talk about on a Friday night win, it's a 1-goal win. 3-2, they get their goalie pulled. They could have easily tied the game up. We fortunately, take care of business on Friday night. But in that game, we had a 3-on-1 rush. I think we had maybe 4 or 5 breakaways that we don't capitalize on. These are some of those things that add up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want teams to be just left hanging around. And, you keep teams hanging around. That's when you end up losing leads, right? So, again, you just got to have that killer instinct that sometimes I feel like with our group sometimes, we'll get up or something like that, and it's almost like there's the victory. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, that's not the victory. The victory is to continue to keep pushing and close the game out the right way, and then the victory will happen, and then we'll feel good about the work that we put in. So, trying to keep them focused on that would probably be the negative because, again, on Saturday night we come out, and again, I know how hard it is to beat the same team 3 times in a row, but we talked about keeping that killer instinct. You got a team that's been down, that didn't play well the last 2 games. Let's go out and assert ourselves, create doubt on that bench, and we do the complete opposite, which was similar to the weekend before when we played good on Athens here, and then we went on the road and had a bad first period in Athens and put ourselves behind the 8 ball. So there's definitely some correlation with some of the issues that we have with our group in terms of sometimes just the messaging, the game planning, getting everybody fully bought in at that first period. Sometimes has been a sticky issue with our team. When we do it, we're good. When we don't, we're not good. And so it's very night and day. Now, on the positive side of things, we got some scoring from some different guys. which was really nice. A balanced approach there. I thought our forecheck was a lot better, and we kind of worked on a new system that we implemented last week, a little bit different tweaks. We didn't give up as many odd man rushes. That was a big thing. We were giving up too many odd man rushes. We're trying to give our D a little bit more help back there with some forward support there, and how we're working as a group, basically starting from the offensive zone when puck possession changes, trying to help our team be a little bit better structurally through the neutral zone. I thought overall that was better.
Given all what we just talked about, and there's a lot of different things here, a lot of it sounds scary, like especially the mental side of the game, right? And I mean, you're not just a coach, you're like team psychologist. You know, you've got to figure out, and we've talked about this before, but how to motivate, how to teach, how to coach these guys up. And each of them is an individual who has a different way and a different process and going about things. I mean, halfway through the season, is that a little easier for you at this point?
There's been some guys, and I won't mention names, but there's been some guys where, you know, I've had a little ups and downs with relationship building early on. I think I've had to adjust kind of how I coach with some guys compared to other guys, but you're always still constantly evolving. I think that, you know, every Monday we have that captain's meeting, and I'm always asking the captains too, you know, there's things that I got to be better on, things that I need to do that the group needs me to be better on too. And, you know, I'm asking them to be better. I always got to ask more of myself, and they gave me some feedback. And so, you know, you're always looking for ways to improve. And I think, you know, sometimes as a coach, especially, you know, Nick Graham does a great job. He comes on the bench. He helps out in certain things. But, you know, realistically, you know, he's kind of the director of hockey ops. He's doing a lot of that stuff with the trades, the payroll, and stuff like that. But in terms of the coaching side of things, you know, I'm really an only coach, right? I mean, I'm running practice by myself. Most of the teaching and stuff is all by myself. Is that, you know, when you're worried about all that, Tom, you sometimes forget about the most basic minor things that you have to do as a coach. And sometimes when you have like 2 assistant coaches in the coast, they kind of help do these things. But, you know, I thought Houston Wilson brought up a great point this morning in the captain's meeting, just talking about just making sure that each individual guy knows exactly what you want from them in terms of their individual role. Now, that might seem very simple. And on the surface, it is very simple. And I've had talks with guys, probably more so at the beginning of the year and during the summer when you recruit them about what they're there to do. But sometimes, you know, that's something you just have to remind somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's no different if you're in sales or something like that, and a guy maybe started selling really good out the gate, and then he got complacent. Now he's not selling or closing as much. You know, maybe he needs to get a tap on the shoulder to remind him what his job is and exactly what you need him to do. And, you know, as a coach, you're worried about so many different things, pre-scout, power play breakouts, you know, zone entries. You're worried about all these things, and sometimes you take for granted things that maybe you feel as a coach that players should just automatically know, but they don't know. And I think you got to sometimes get into the weeds, and that's where, again, leaning on your captains to kind of sometimes, you know, hit those kind of light switch on my head sometimes, like, you know what, maybe I do need to do that, and just make sure everybody knows that again so we're all on the same page. And that's when a team is really clicking, is when everybody knows their role. We know structurally what we're doing. The individual player knows his role in that structure and knows what the expectations are.
Well, and I mean, to that point, right, this is where you rely. And there is a role at this level called player assistant coach. You know, whether teams have one or not is optional. It's not something you have to do. But how important is that leadership translating this stuff to you as a single coach?
Well, they've been, you know, my captains will tell you, I'm hardest on them than anybody. But again, I want them to be hard on me too. And that's kind of in an intimate, behind closed doors setting where we can really kind of fully trust each other on what we say, and it kind of stays in the vault type of thing. But you have to have that, especially if you don't have like a true quote-unquote assistant coach that's out there on the ice, that's hearing things, that's bringing you information as a coach that you need to know. I mean, there's so many things that go into it that maybe a lot of fans don't understand. I mean, of course, I want to get after a guy if he's having a bad practice. I'm going to get after him. That's my job, right?
Right.
Well, what happens if you know, that said player, his dog just died? I don't know about that. The players know about it because they're talking about it. They all talk all the time. But if I don't know that, then I feel bad because here I got a guy that's already having a bad practice because of something that I don't know about, you know. And, you know, it's not that that's happened. It's just that's just an example of what could happen where, you know, some of those things with the group and what things guys are dealing with away from the ice is very important because it could be affecting their play, could be affecting what they're doing. And if I don't have that information, I need to have that information to be an effective coach to get through to that player, right? I might have to coach him differently, right?
Well, and again, that's and each guy's an individual guy. They all react differently.
Yeah.
You know, some guys put stuff behind them quicker. Some guys dwell on things, and whether it's a bad play in a game or something going on, you know, in the personal life, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot to juggle, Gary.
Well, it is, but again, like I said, that's why you got to really lean on your captains, and they've been doing a really good job with that. And I know, again, like I said, I've been challenging the group about making sure that the messaging is right when I leave. You know, that room is theirs. You know, that's their sanctuary room. You know, I'm only in there very little just to go in there, speak briefly and stuff. But what goes on in that room, and again, with championship teams that have had a lot of success, those captains, that's their room. That's their they control that room, you know, and I think they're doing a very good job, and I think, you know, they're bringing a lot of good things to the table for me to learn from, and I'm learning from them, and that's what you want to see. And you hope, again, that relationship building will continue to help us get results on the ice.
I know you're running the guys through a pretty hard practice this morning here to start the week. I wanted to ask you a little bit about one of the unusual drills. You took the net from the crease area and you kind of put it facing the corner at the top of the circle. What was that drill, and what is that designed to do to teach the guys? So yeah, let's talk about this. Let's get into it.
The former goalie, you know, goalies hate those drills.
I do hate that
because
drill.
they don't have their blue paint.
You have no clue where you are, so you just
no,
next to the post.
No, goalies goalies like to compete, and that's what it is. It's a compete drill, so they like that. But you know, all goalies hate drills where they don't have that blue paint right in front of you.
Yes.
But, and especially, you know, if the holes aren't drilled in because, you know, they're pushing off and the net's
net
moving.
goes flying.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's
but
crap.
you being a goalie, they hate that. Now, for us, it's very effective.
Thanks for noticing.
Hey, listen, I know what you're thinking, like, because you're a goalie. But though that drill is really working on our corner play and our wall play. So Athens is a big physical team, very quick to check. And one thing, still, even in the Danbury series, you know, the way that our team is constructed, we have to be an effective cycling team. We have to. That's our best defense is always going to be us playing in the offensive zone, keeping other teams 200 feet away from the offensive zone net that they want to be at. And the more zone time that we can have and a more sustainable play behind the net and working teams in their defensive zone coverage really plays into what we're trying to do. And so we haven't been great on the cycle as of late. I think that we're holding on to pucks too long. We're not climbing with the puck on the cycle. We're stick handling too much as opposed to moving our feet. Our puck protection skills have not been great. We've been getting pinned too easy against the glass, which has been allowing other teams to get their second man in there and break pucks out quicker. We've been a little late on our second man support when our guy does get pinned. So that drill basically worked on all those things in one drill. So we're working on how to get off the wall. We're working on how our forwards, because again, we don't have the biggest team, as we know up front, and we're playing some bigger defensemen. So there's certain things for our forwards, and again, these are just little details that I kind of went into the weeds today on to try to remind our forwards what are some of the things that make you an effective forward on the cycle, right? That's, again, your puck protection skills, you know, making sure you attack pucks with speed, making sure you shoulder check before you touch the puck, making sure you counter bump the defenseman before he pins you. Don't stay flat on the wall to where you get closed out easily and angled easily. All these things that we're working on, those drills, we're kind of re-emphasizing those things.
And, I mean, for your defense, it's a reminder for them of how to defend against these things as well.
It's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to be better in the corners defensively, not getting beat off the walls, making sure we're physical, and then making sure we're not getting beat back to the net front out of the corners. So all that stuff was good technique for our D, playing physical, trying to pin, and then, of course, the forward's mission was to not get pinned. So it was a good contrast.
I know the guys are competitive, so the forward core wants to win that. The defensive core wants to win that.
Oh yeah. It was a tough practice, but you know, I think the guys would rather do drills like that than do the old school bag skate stuff. You know, and I'm not a big believer in that. I think there's so many things that you can do to condition your team, and you can discipline them with more physical drills like that. That's also going to get your hockey IQ better.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, guess what? Athens again.
A lot of Athens this month.
Athens is coming up on the weekend. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. So stay tuned. IceCats Insider rolls on.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. When I add the Dijon mustard to this pretzel bun, it takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties: grilled, spicy, Original, it gets you nice and excited for fall.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Known for his integrity, attention to detail, and client-first approach, Sean Austin builds lasting relationships based on trust and results. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to sell your current home, Sean combines local expertise with strong negotiation skills to deliver a seamless experience from start to finish. Austin and Associates at RE/MAX Professionals. Your next address is just a slap shot away. Go IceCats!
Da Massimo Ristorante Italiano, where culinary passion meets the art of hospitality. Established in 2010, our restaurant was born out of a love for authentic flavors and a commitment to providing our guests with a memorable dining experience. At Da Massimo, we believe that food is more than just sustenance. It's a celebration of culture and community. Whether you're here for a cozy dinner, a festive celebration, we look forward to serving you.
Gorget is a local craft distillery based in Lugoff, South Carolina, producing rum, vodka, whiskey, and bourbon in small batches. Founded in 2015 by 3 local gentlemen, Gorget has a fine line of handmade, local spirits. No matter what you desire, we have something for you. Isn't it about time you revolutionize your spirit? Visit us online at gorgetdistilling.com.
At the Law Office of W. James Hoffmeyer, we strive to help our clients in whatever situation they are facing. Whether you need help with criminal law, personal injury, or family law, our hard-working team will assist you throughout the process with compassion and integrity. Our goal is to always provide our clients with outstanding representation and advocacy throughout their case. The Law Office of W. James Hoffmeyer, serving South Carolina since 1992.
Get ready to savor the flavors of our long-standing family recipes bursting with authenticity and love. Indulge in the vibrant colors and aromas that create a fiesta for your senses with every bite. Your journey through our menu is a delicious adventure guided by tradition and the freshest ingredients Mother Earth has to offer. Come join us at 842 Woody Jones Boulevard in Florence. Order online at margaritasmexicanrestaurants.com. Margaritas. Experience the love in every bite.
McLeod Health is committed to helping you obtain a healthy lifestyle and improve your overall health. Medically trained in the areas of fitness and nutrition, we can help you reduce your risk for certain diseases and live a long, healthy life through fitness and wellness programs, community health education, and 2 medically based wellness centers. McLeod Health is with you on your journey to better health. Discover a new you at McLeod Health and Fitness Centers.
For 20 years, we've captured more than weddings, we've captured legacies. The laughter, the tears, the moments that last a lifetime. Every glance, every vow, every I do, preserved in stunning cinematic detail. Because your love story deserves more than memories, it deserves to be a film that lives forever. Something to remember wedding productions. 2 decades of love stories, beautifully told.
Ding dong.
Mountain dude?
The mountain is calling.
Give me a mountain, lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing mountain dew.
You're watching the IceCats Broadcast Network. This portion of today's broadcast is brought to you by Evening Shade Incorporated. Trusted team with over 2 decades of experience. Gorget Distilling Company. Revolutionize your spirit. The Law Office of W. James Hoffmeyer. Serving South Carolina since 1992. Kimbrell's Furniture. Affordable home furnishings.
Plays them close, doesn't always win, but plays them pretty close and pretty competitive. To you, is that encouraging as a coach that your team is rising to that level, and does that show you that there's even more potential there in the roster. What do you think when you see a close but not quite?
Well, I think, we understood that Athens was, of course, last year they were, first in the league, I think, or them in, down south or whatever it was. And we knew, seeing what they were building during the summer, how good they were going to be. So, of course, we've been trying to, keeping up with the Joneses as we built the team, Nick and I, from scratch, trying to have an understanding of, listen, we play these guys a lot. They're kind of in our little portal here. We're going to have to try to find a way of matching up against these guys, right? There's definitely been some common themes to when we've played them effectively. When we've played them effectively, we have not let them get under our skin and take dumb penalties. That's been a big issue. When we don't play well against them, well, we let things get out of our control, whether it be the refereeing, a missed call here or there, their player doing something, we get worked up, we end up taking a stupid penalty, and they get a power play, and then they capitalize. That's the type of team that you want to let them. You can't give them any free offense, okay? So you can't give them any free odd man rushes. They're going to hurt you, okay? You can't give them any really free. If you got to take a penalty, it better be to take away a scoring chance. But lazy penalties that aren't good penalties to take, more than likely they're going to make you pay one way or the other. Or they're going to get some really good momentum off of it that then stems into their play being better 5-on-5. So those are some things that we just have to be very aware of. You're not going to win a high-scoring game against Athens. It's just not the way it's going to be. So you have to be prepared to win a 3-2, 2-1, maybe a 4-3 type of game. It's just they're too good defensively. Their goaltending's too good. They're too structurally sound. They're probably not going to have a lot of nights off where they're just going to be letting in a bunch of goals. And you're not going to want to play riverboat gambling hockey with a team that's so good off the rush like those guys. So, there's definitely some things where we match up better against them. I like our matchups against them if it's 5-on-5. If we're playing 5-on-5, we're playing some good hockey. I like it.
Especially against a team, and here's the thing that grabbed me about Athens is when everybody's healthy there, and of course we can all say that about all of our teams. When we're all healthy, they can play the big physical game, but they can play the skill game. They do get some really good goaltending. I mean, they bring a lot of elements that at this level should win you a lot of hockey games. And that's why I think it's impressive to see when Pee Dee does match up against them, whether it's through utilizing the speed or, as you say, staying 5-on-5. I mean, staying out of the box is huge, obviously.
Yeah, well, the one thing, too, that you could about Athens is, I don't know what the stat would be. I know you're a stat guy. But just seeing them away kind of in the last few weeks, and of course we've seen it ourselves, is they're never out of any game. They come from behind so many times in the third period against teams, and a lot of times it's because a team takes a dumb penalty, and boom, they got the type of older veteran guys that know. They have that killer instinct, you know what I'm saying? If there's blood in the water, now's our time, and they got the guys that know how to get the job done. And so, you see that the one game that we were up ahead, and we lost the game when we took some penalties down there. And again, you look at it's their top guys. It's the Mylans, it's the Carter Shakur. It's like, their top guys know how to get the job done. The shorthanded goal by Mylan, and then you got the Shakur one-timer goal here. I can visualize it right down here in that zone. The last time we were up on them a couple goals, and they just did that the other night to Baton Rouge too. Baton Rouge was up on them. They've done it to countless teams, so you just can't count them out, and that's why you have to have situational awareness. You have to have game management when you play them. You have to have purpose when you play them because, again, everything can get magnified when you have a team that's as deep as what they have over there. You might be able to get away turning pucks over at the blue line a few times against Danbury, but if you do it against a team like Athens, it could cost you the game right away.
How much of that is instinctual and intrinsic to a player, just they have to have it or they don't, the hockey IQ we talk about, versus how much of it can be coached and taught?
Wow. I mean, you could have a million coaches up here that ask you that. I mean, you would like to think that you could teach that, but again, unfortunately, players are going to make mistakes, and you have to have a relationship with your guys where, like I tell my forwards all the time, like they're here, I want them to create offensively. I want them to feel comfortable about creating and not squeezing their sticks tight. But you have to also understand numbers, and what I mean by that for the fans listening is, when you attack through the neutral zone, right away, a forward group needs to be counting numbers. Okay, is this a 2-on-1? Is this a 3-on-2? How are the D playing me at the blue line? Are they playing me tight? Are they sagging back a little bit? right away as you start heading through the neutral zone, you can start seeing that setup, and you should already start knowing how you're going to have to make that play at the offensive blue line. And for us, where we get into trouble is when teams decide to play more aggressive, is that we try to, instead of just putting things in and getting in on the forecheck, we try to force things into the middle, into skates, into sticks. And that's where those turnovers happen. And, of course, we're all going this way. Now they're going this way. And not only that way, they're going that way with speed on a flat-footed defenseman. Puts our D in a very difficult spot, Tommy. So, when we've run into trouble this year a lot is when teams are playing us tight. And again, well-structured teams are always going to play us like that. That's the way we're trying to play, right? But we have to be willing to, it's the old cliche like we talk about, take what they give you. What are they giving you? Take that, and then let's work out from there, right? And so when we've done that against Athens, and they know what's available, and I'm not going to say it on here, but they know what's available. We've seen them enough. When we do a good job of taking what's available to us, we've had a lot of success. But when we start trying to veer off of that game plan, it can go sideways in a hurry.
Well, it's interesting. I'm thinking of a situation against Danbury, too, from this past week where all of a sudden Danbury started to try to clog that neutral zone up on you. They started throwing guys across the blue line,
you
packing them 4
if you would
deep.
have heard me, if he would have had me mic'd up on the bench right away in the first period on Saturday night, I started saying the first time I said, you can tell right away this is what they're going to do. So we have to be willing to do this. And in real time, it should be a quick adjustment. But unfortunately, we had guys still trying to shove a round circle, in the square hole, basically. And, and it was a painful learning process there. And that's what happened. So, again, if we're an effective transition team, which we are when we're playing well, teams will play like that. And Athens did a better job from that last time we played them on Friday night here. We did a good job of in the neutral zone, our structure. It really frustrated Athens. That's why I think Athens only had maybe 5 shots in the third period or something against us. I mean, we did pretty good. But then Athens flipped it on us when we went in there on Athens on Saturday.
Right.
And we did the same thing they were doing here, which I'm sure their coach was mad about. We were turning dumb pucks over. They really clogged it up, and then we weren't effectively getting through the neutral zone. So, typically the team that plays more structured, better in the neutral zone is going to have more success. And that's kind of been a story for our team is when we're better in the neutral zone, we take care of the pucks, gives us a better chance to have success.
Dominic Marcinkiewicz comes back. Good to have him back in the lineup. He scores twice in his return there. And I know you've got to make adjustments through the lineup. Now, what does his return mean for your forwards?
Well, it's great. I mean, like I said, Dom is kind of that Swiss Army knife where he can do a little bit of everything. If he's really on his game, he checks well. He forechecks, he back checks, he shoots the puck, which we have still way too many guys that don't want to shoot the puck when they should be shooting the puck. It kills us. But, I know he's going to average probably 5-6 shots a game. It's pretty much like clockwork. I can expect that from him. He's willing to drive the net. He can penalty kill good. He's been a part of that power kill. They've had a lot of shorthanded success this year, being aggressive when they should be, even though we did have a mistake the other night on our penalty kill. But we're going to make mistakes. But again, it's that energy that he brings, and of course that energy and that spark plug can kind of sometimes, he's got to find that line sometimes of where to go. Sometimes I think the referees in this league and the linesmen maybe don't understand, that brother relationship. Like, of course, Dom was pretty animated the other night. He thought Patty got high-sticked in the face or hit dirty. He didn't see it.
Right.
It was an accidental thing that happened. But, of course, he's trying to, get an answer from the referees and the linesmen. He's backing up his brother, his twin brother, for God's sake. What do you expect the guy to do? And, sometimes the refs and the linesmen, and again, overall, they've done a pretty good job, but they're just, they're so thin-skinned, that they get so worked up, you know what I'm saying? And then, they start coming over to me and tell them to get control of them or whatever like that. And so I think his energy and his spark plug can be misread sometimes by the league and the league officials. But with that being said, also, Dom would be the first guy to tell you, he's got to do a better job of controlling that emotion too and reading off of what kind of vibe he's getting from those refs and linesmen. Because at the end of the day, those guys, those twins are very competitive. They want to win games just like all the rest of us. They don't want to be taking bad penalties to hurt the team,
Right.
And so, again, we just got to find that emotional line. I think that last game, Tommy, when we went into Athens, it's been a physical series with especially Patty and Dom and Mylan. It's been nice, healthy competition, but we kind of took some extra, hits basically that we that we probably should have taken that were calls. There were calls on Milan. Again, power play opportunities last time. You know, we want to play clean, hard-nosed, disciplined hockey. When we do that, like at the beginning of the season, we have a lot of success. But if we start taking liberties or start running out of plays to try to make settle scores and stuff like that against a good power play, that's not going to be good for us long-term success.
That guy's the epitome of the squeaky wheel. Gets a grease sometimes, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Well, the good thing about Dom too and Patty, and I tell them this all the time, is like they can't be like a Brad Marchand. They can draw us power plays, and you seen them do it the other night. Like they'll drive the net and get in there, and they can get under guys' skins and draw us power plays, and ultimately they're power play guys. They're going to get a lot of their points on there. So that's kind of the conversation that I like to have with them, is that reminding them, listen, as opposed to taking the penalties, why don't you go in there and draw yourself power play minutes and make them pay and get your points.
Exactly. And I wanted to ask you, because we talk about cliches a lot,
Yeah.
right? I have one for you. I want to know, do you subscribe to the theory that coaches are much more willing to live with mistakes of effort as opposed to any other kind?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I can, because again, guys are going to make mistakes, but the guys that make the mistake and they turn it over to blue line, when I watch that player and the effort that he gives on the back check, you're still going to have a conversation with him, but it's a different type of conversation than if he doesn't give the effort.
Right.
It's going to be a lot more animated. Let's put it that way. And so that's what you want to see from guys. And yeah, I think it's a good question, but I think every coach would answer it the same way.
It's the old, are you playing guilty enough?
Yes. Well, you're trying to get guys motivated in several different ways, and guys are all motivated by different things. Sometimes you got to get through to guys in different ways, and sometimes you can challenge them harder. Sometimes it's that soft whisper in the ear about something. Sometimes it's the arm around the shoulder. And again, this is a first-year team. All these guys are pretty new for me, other than Houston Wilson and Miguel Diaz, who I've had in the past. I'm still trying to be a more effective coach for this team and understand what's going to make them tick and how to push the right buttons.
All right. Well, Gary, as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming up and joining us.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Thanks to all the listeners.
All right. We are going to take a break. When we come back, Scott Brand is going to join us. We're going to talk about what's going on for this IceCats team in 2026. You're going to want to stay tuned. There's plenty of fun stuff coming your way on IceCats Insider.
The Pee Dee IceCats are lighting up the scoreboard, and Powers Properties is proud to be the official housing provider. Looking for an apartment? Powers Properties has you covered with modern apartments, convenient locations, and a team that puts you first. Just like the IceCats, we know what it takes to win, on and off the ice. Score big with Powers Properties. Relax, you are home.
Welcome to Seminar Brewing, where craft beer meets culinary delight. Located at 551 West Lucas Street in the heart of Florence, we offer an unforgettable experience for beer enthusiasts and food lovers alike. Pair your favorite brew with our mouth-watering menu. Our kitchen serves up everything from savory snacks to hearty meals, all crafted to complement our beers perfectly. Seminar Brewing. Taste the difference that local passion makes.
South Coast Commercial Curb Appeal is the trusted partner for businesses in Florence and surrounding areas that want to maintain a clean, safe, and attractive commercial properties. With our wide range of services, from sweeping and landscaping to snow and ice treatment, we're here to ensure your property remains in pristine condition all year long. South Coast Commercial Curb Appeal. Experience the difference.
No matter which forklift you walk into, you'll know it's special, and just for you. Our stylists don't guess your best cut. They are experts in men's and boys' hair. Our cutting zone has all the basics in specialized equipment, from our comfortable cutting chairs to an array of specialized cutting tools and clippers. We got you covered. Visit Sport Clips of Florence today, located at 1940 Hoffmeyer Road, Suite D. We are the pros in men's hair.
Life happens on your floors, but when dirt, spills, and messes take over, it's time to call the experts. Stanley Steamer of Florence provides a deep cleaning technology that removes dirt and allergens, leaving your floors fresh and spotless. Breathe easier and enjoy a cleaner, healthier home with Stanley Steamer. Call or visit us online today. Stanley Steamer, your home deserves it.
For more than 85 years, Tomlinson Sales Company has proudly served customers across South and North Carolina. As a proud partner and the official outlet store of your Pee Dee IceCats, stop by to check out exclusive IceCats merchandise, plus an ever-changing inventory that makes Tomlinson a must-stop destination. Visit them at 1309 East Palmetto Street in Florence and discover the Pee Dee's hometown store. Tomlinson Sales Company, where great service, trusted brands, and community pride come together. That's Tomlinson Sales Company, 85 years strong and still serving the Carolinas. Welcome to Zapata's, your best choice for authentic Mexican food. Whether you want to stop by for brunch or bring your whole family in for Taco Tuesday, our restaurant offers excellent Mexican cuisine with premium ingredients and artful presentations made by our master chefs. 2 locations to serve you in Florence and in Hartsville. Order online at zapatasrest.com. Pata's Grill Mexican Restaurants. Good food, always fresh.
Looking to score big with your printing? M&M Printing and Graphics is your hometown team. From flyers, business cards, and posters, to vinyl graphics, banners, and outdoor signage, we do it all. Whether you're promoting your business, cheering on your team, or bringing your brand to life, we've got the players and the skills to make it happen. Visit mmpg.us or call 843-662-2412. M&M Printing and Graphics, the official printer of the Pee Dee IceCats.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. From the first bite to the last bite, that bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, you have those 3 things together, and it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Real guest paid for their testimonial.
Hey, grab me one too.
In the heart of Florence, South Carolina, discover Palmetto Smiles, where artistry meets advanced dental care, led by Dr. Brian Sang. Dr. Sang is a highly trained implant and cosmetic dentist, dedicated to transforming smiles with advanced techniques. He's committed to continuing education and bringing the latest methods to every patient. At Palmetto Smiles, comprehensive dentistry is under one roof: general care, restorative solutions, TMJ therapy, delivered with compassion. Ready for a healthier, more beautiful smile? Call 843-203-5155 or visit palmettosmiles.com. Dr. Brian Sang and his team can't wait to welcome you.
You're watching the IceCats Broadcast Network. This portion of today's broadcast is brought to you by McLeod Health and Fitness Center, the wellness leader. Austin and Associates. The right agent can lead the way. Hertz Car Rentals. Smart deals for any destination. Sports Clips Haircuts, the pros in men's and boys' hair.
What's up, IceCats? We are here to bring you a brand new segment called A Pro with Joe, where we are going to get to know the IceCats more than just being hockey players. And today, our first guy is Houston Wilson. I am Joanne Bethea, so let's get started. First, how did you get started being a hockey player?
So I first got started being a hockey player. Actually, my parents never played, but my mom signed my brother and I up. I'm a twin too, so the twin line, you know, we have the Marston Cavers twins, but I'm a twin as well. So, my dad was actually deployed in Iraq with the military and the army, and it was just me, my mom, and my brother, and she just saw learn to play hockey for free, which is pretty rare in itself. And she just signed us up, and here I am. Look out. Look out.
Now, you're the pro. I'm not the pro. Learning how to skate still. So you mentioned that you are a twin.
Yeah.
Where is your twin brother? What is he up to these days?
So he lives back in Richmond, Virginia. He works at a little hospital, helping out, just taking care of any needs the patients need or doctors, anything like that. So he's a helping hand.
Okay, awesome. So how is it that you ended up being the hockey player continuing the career and he decided not to?
Well, he was actually a really good player in himself. He was a goalie.
Oh,
So
okay, wow.
he played up through junior hockey. He played actually a little bit of professional roller hockey, and he was really good. That was kind of his lane. And but no, I had a little different route than he did. I went through the prep school route, junior hockey, college hockey at Stevenson University, and then it's my 5th year as a pro now. So
Awesome. So outside of hockey, what would you say is your favorite sport?
outside of hockey, I would probably say probably football.
Football? Do you have a
close basketball, but I'd say football.
Do you have a pro team?
Of course, my Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, look out.
We're gonna have a lot of Coopers in this one. The Eagles?
Yeah, my Philadelphia Eagles, defending Super Bowl champs. That's my team.
Okay, so next, favorite food. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food. It's a good one. Favorite food. I'm gonna have to say probably. I mean, I feel like I could never go wrong with like some Japanese hibachi.
Is that your pregame meal?
No, actually, okay. Here's a good one. I love salmon. Salmon.
I do love salmon. Salmon on a Caesar salad.
Okay.
That is like my
I'm just
jam.
like salmon, some rice, maybe a little mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes with salmon?
Yeah.
So that's your pregame meal?
Yeah, that's usually my pregame, I would say. Either night before or sometimes day of.
Okay. Staying on the food topic, do you have a favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert? Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Ice cream. Oh, yeah.
Give us your favorite flavor.
Vanilla.
Vanilla?
Vanilla.
You're kidding me.
Fire.
Do you put anything on your vanilla ice cream? Like sprinkles, chocolate?
No, we don't need all that. Just give me some
we're
good,
we're a simple
crisp
man.
vanilla, like
Do you have a favorite?
Haagen-Dazs?
Haagen-Dazs. Okay, that is good. Haagen-Dazs does have good ice cream.
Yep.
So outside of hockey or watching football, do you have any other hobbies that you like to do?
Let's see. I mean, I like to be outside. I like to play video games. I'll do anything really. You know, I'm someone that actually likes to try new things.
Oh, okay.
I would say I like to try new things. I've been a lot of different places, so I think that's one thing that I've acquired over my experience, is just being open to try new things.
So where is your favorite place that you've been? I know that's probably a hard question, but where's your favorite place that you've been?
I would say Florence, South Carolina, the Pee Dee. I love this place.
You heard it here first, folks. Florence, South Carolina is the destination to be.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, last but not least,
Okay.
do you have any words for the IceCats, for the nation?
Let's have a great 2026. You know, it's only up from here. We're still building every single day, trying to get better each and every day. And I just can't wait to see what we do for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Houston. And IceCats, this is Pro with Joe with Houston Wilson and Joanne Bethea. And hope you have a great day.
Dal Massimo Ristorante Italiano, where culinary passion meets the art of hospitality. Established in 2010, our restaurant was born out of a love for authentic flavors and a commitment to providing our guests with a memorable dining experience. At Dal Massimo, we believe that food is more than just sustenance. It's a celebration of culture and community. Whether you're here for a cozy dinner, a festive celebration, we look forward to serving you.
Gorget is a local craft distillery based in Lugoff, South Carolina, producing rum, vodka, whiskey, and bourbon in small batches. Founded in 2015 by 3 local gentlemen, Gorget has a fine line of handmade, local spirits. No matter what you desire, we have something for you. Isn't it about time you revolutionize your spirit? Visit us online at gorgetdistilling.com.
The Pee Dee IceCats are lighting up the scoreboard, and Powers Properties is proud to be the official housing provider. Looking for an apartment? Powers Properties has you covered with modern apartments, convenient locations, and a team that puts you first. Just like the IceCats, we know what it takes to win, on and off the ice. Score big with Powers Properties. Relax, you are home.
Welcome to Seminar Brewing, where craft beer meets culinary delight. Located at 551 West Lucas Street in the heart of Florence, we offer an unforgettable experience for beer enthusiasts and food lovers alike. Pair your favorite brew with our mouth-watering menu. Our kitchen serves up everything from savory snacks to hearty meals, all crafted to complement our beers perfectly. Seminar Brewing. Taste the difference that local passion makes.
Ding dong.
Mountain Dude?
The mountain's calling.
Give me a mountain, lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing mountain dew. Yeah, give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
You're watching the IceCats Broadcast Network. This portion of today's broadcast is brought to you by Margarita's Mexican Restaurant, where every dish is a celebration of taste. Tomlinson Sales. Get your Pee Dee IceCat apparel here. 7 locations to serve you. Something to Remember Wedding Productions. 2 decades of love stories, beautifully told. And the official video graphic designer for the Pee Dee IceCats.
Welcome back here on IceCats Insider. Tom Callahan, joined by the Grand High Poobah of the Pee Dee IceCats, General Manager Scott Brand. Scott, how you doing?
Must be a run short on interview times, eh? You got me up here, so
yeah.
Got time to fill?
I do. I got time to fill and no fill to fill it. So I actually did want to get you on, Scott, because we're into 2026 now, and believe it or not, we are actually halfway through the home schedule.
Yeah, I just realized that the other day. I was like, man, we only have 14 home games left, and so the season's gone quick. You know, we got here late. At least in my view, we got here late, and we built the team. And the what can you say about the Pee Dee region and how they've reacted to the we just got off of a record crowd the other night, and I think we're going to set another record next Saturday or whatever Saturday is, the 7th. Yeah, it would be the 17th. No, 17th. Yep. And so things are going extremely well.
You know, I actually opened the program talking with Gary about that, because if you look at the way it's growing, right? It's just been going up and up and up. We set a record, now we set another record. I mean, the fans wanted hockey back in the region, and here we are.
They absolutely did, and what a huge shout out to the region and Rex and the building. I mean, the management before was definitely not ice friendly, and this management is absolutely ice friendly, and you see what it's done. It's put people in the stands.
Before we talk about what's coming up for the IceCats specifically, what's coming up for the building? The first and most noticeable thing is the lighting, right? That's the first one people are going to notice in the building.
Well, yeah, I thought you were going to talk about the motocross and the monster trucks and everything else, and that stuff's important, and we encourage you to go with that. But the next big thing for us is the video boards, and we don't want to call it Jumbotron, but yeah, they'll be part scoreboard, but more importantly, it'll be a video board, and that'll allow us to do more interacting stuff with the fans. It'll allow us to with our partners to showcase their commercials and highlights, and so it's going to be so much more to add to the experience here. Of course, we got the pregame light show, which was new, and of course, as you said, now you can see, by the dawn's early light when we flip those lights on, and so and now the video boards, and so after that, we're going to slow down a little bit. We're talking about maybe some ribbons in the corners for next year, and maybe a couple new scoreboards, but for the most part, the buildings are ready to go.
It's fantastic to see the improvements, literally be able to see the improvements with the lighting, and I kid, but no, it's great to see that the community is behind the team as much as the team is behind the community, right? I mean, it's got to be a synergistic relationship.
It absolutely has to be, and it has been. I mean, listen, we're just glad that the community is taking us in the way they have. I mean, it's a regional team. We have to be a regional team. Love the city of Florence, but, Hartsville and Darlington and Sumner and even Columbia and Myrtle Beach, I mean, they're all very, very important, and all the towns between. And so we definitely have to be loved by the community. We have to give them a reason, give them value, and I think we have.
So let's talk about then what's coming up for the remaining second half. And first of all, somebody called in the other day, Scott, wanted to know, can I still buy season tickets? Well, the answer is yes, right?
I'll sell you season tickets up to the last home game, so absolutely you can. And the important thing, Tom, about the season tickets, besides locking your seat in, you don't have to stand in line, you don't have to pay extra fees, is when the team makes the playoffs, is you get the same seat, and you get to lock in the same seat for next year. Plus, there's several bonuses. We already had a skate with a team party. That was one thing we have. We're working on a banquet. We're working on a couple times to go out with the team and meet and greets and various things like that. So those are all the benefits. On top of that, you save money.
Yeah, and you can have dinner with Scott.
You can. Can.
That's the biggest attended event of the year. And actually, we are working on, and we don't have details firm on this yet, but a season ticket holder town hall meeting as well that we're going to be working on.
That's something our owners were very, very, adamant about is listen, from a hockey standpoint and a business standpoint, we think we know what you want, but unless you really get a feel for what we can do wrong and do right, and that's the important, particularly when the fans can tell us, hey, you know what, we don't like your light blue jerseys because we can't read the names on the back. I've heard that.
That
I don't know if that was a fan
or
somebody, but
yeah, somewhere.
But there are certain things like that. The other thing, maybe we have too many jerseys. Maybe we don't have enough jerseys. Maybe the warm-up jerseys we just did with money we raised for the shelters knocked it out of the park. I will tell you, we did very, very well then. The jersey we did earlier didn't do so well. So there's a lot of things that we want the fans to tell us. I mean, maybe the fans want to pay for parking. I don't know.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they do.
No, I don't think they will. But if you do, you let us know, and we will go ahead and collect that dollar. Scott, in all seriousness, trying to be one with the community, and there's a certain amount of kind of throwing things against the wall, see what works, especially in year one, coming back for a place that hasn't had hockey in a while. But there's some really solid things that I know you've done other places, I've seen other places that work, and we have to lead into this by talking about Military Night.
Absolutely. Usually the biggest night almost with every franchise across the board, even when I was in Detroit, and we had a kind of a smaller market, believe it or not. But you were in Columbus, Georgia. When Columbus, Georgia sold out at 7,000 people, there's no reason we can't hit 7,000 here. But it's a special night because we honor those who've served, we honor those who are currently serving, and it's fun. And usually we'll be playing Athens that night, so that's already one little bomb in the howitzer we're ready to fire, and then on top of that, having all those people here will really get it going, and I'm sure that's going to be a feisty game. And again, we've got Woodman Life who's bringing I think it's 40 by 60 flag. We'll have at center ice.
Oh wow!
And Chick-fil-A, boy, they've really stepped up, and they purchased 3,000 ticket vouchers for the active people in the area, the Shaw and Fort Jackson, and of course the National Guard. So we're looking forward to a big crowd, and then Channel 13 will be jumping on board with us and helping us out there. And on top of that, there's a lot of companies that are buying tickets for their employees and their former veterans, and so it'll be a special night.
And we got specialty jerseys.
We absolutely specialty jerseys, which we'll auction off after the game. That money will go to Warriors hockey. It's a program that through hockey allows guys who came back, and I know that it's not like the old days you went and fought a war, you came back and that was it. I mean, now there's a human side to it. There's a mental side to coming back, and this really helps those guys out. And thankfully you and I never had to go overseas and shoot at anybody. So it's a great cause to raise money there. Plus there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of what a great place to live with all these great military heroes.
What's interesting? I talk to. Sometimes it's hockey players who transition out of the sporting life, but sometimes military who transition to civilian life, they still want to be part of a team somehow. Right?
Well, you're absolutely right, and whether it's the military or hockey, and you've talked to hockey guys all the time, they don't miss getting beat up or a puck in the mouth. What they miss is that locker room. I mean, it's just the camaraderie of being in that team, and so that's important, and it's got to be especially important to our military heroes.
Absolutely. So, all right. So, Military Night, that's going to be the 17th of January. And that's coming up here soon. Scott, what else do we have in the hopper here that we're looking forward to?
So February, we only play, 3 nights at home during February, and they're February 13th, Friday night, Education Night, Coker University. Going to have a big contingent on hand. We'll be the Cobras in warm-ups, so we got specialty jerseys. And of course, after that, if you're a student, we have a ticket special, which you can go online and we'll have those ticket links available. The 14th, which is Saturday night, it's Valentine's Day, or being from Chicago, it's the anniversary, of course, of the Great Chicago Massacre. And we'll celebrate that by beating up the Carolina Thunderbirds. Yeah, I guess
Twin City.
Twin City.
Twin
Sorry.
City. Yeah.
I started Carolina.
I still call him Carolina. Scott literally started Carolina.
I did.
If you don't know that story, tell that story real quick, Scott.
So I was sitting on my farm in Michigan, and somebody called me up, says, "Hey, go start a team in Winston-Salem." I go, "Absolutely not, but I'll go down and negotiate everything." And I got a good lease, and the lease team's still doing very well. And of course, it's been very, very successful. And there was a time you couldn't get tickets on Saturday night, so there's still got a place in my heart for them, but not that night. But it will be Have a Heart night. So MUSC. Medical will be helping out that night, and we'll be wearing specialty jerseys, pink jerseys, and we'll do a little fundraising there. And of course, Sunday the 15th should be a big night. It usually typically is in the South, which is Faith and Family Night. If you got youth groups or church groups, it's a special start on Sunday, 3:15. So you go to church in the morning, and then come on out and enjoy an afternoon of hockey. And afterwards, there'll be a faith-based program. Two of our players will get up and give testimonials and talk about their faith.
Okay, looking forward to that. So that whole weekend is packed.
Whole weekend's packed. It's probably good. We have, we're not home the 2 weeks before or the week after. That way we can kind of save our energy, because you're going to need a lot that week. And anticipate education night. We're going to be giving an education in hockey, hopefully, to the Thunderbirds, and then the 14th, they have a heart night, medical night. So we'll have a special with medical personnel there, and of course, Faith and Family on Sunday. Expecting a huge weekend.
Well, Scott, so now I'm doing the math. We're halfway through. We have 14 home games left. We have a couple home games in January, and we only have 3 in February. How packed is March for home games?
So March, we have a ton of home games. We have a bunch of stuff that goes on. I think that's one of our liquor and handgun nights. I'm kidding. But March, we have a lot going on, and so we'll start repping that as soon as we get through the military weekend. So still a lot of hockey left. Still a chance to get season tickets. If you have a business, we still have availability. Not a lot of it, but we still have a little bit of availability, and that'll get you in for next year. And as important, that'll get you the playoff run too. So still a lot, and we're looking forward to finishing this year, and be nice to have a cup this year. I'll take a first-round victory and call it a good year, and then next year we'll win it all.
Well, what we don't have is a title sponsor for the broadcast.
We don't.
So it could be a your business here, IceCats hockey, all the time.
It absolutely, it could be the Waffle House pregame show.
Scott would love that.
If anybody from Waffle House is watching, or IHOP.
Yes. So not that he's partial, but you know what, Scott, I think there's so much great opportunity here. There's so many great things going on with this Pee Dee team. And again, it is the first year. So, you're kind of getting in the door early here. If you're jumping on, if you're finding this coach's show, you're getting in early. But you can feel the growth, right? We can feel this is kind of a building wave, and we're riding it into the second half.
It absolutely has. And Tom, I don't know if you've talked about even some of the bigger things we have. We're going to have a TV deal that's coming up besides our YouTube and a 4-station radio network. We've got so much planned, and then with a video board, I think that opens up a whole new realm and things that we haven't been able to work with. So you want to jump on board now, because we're keeping the pricing. If you're on this year, next year you're not going to see any kind of significant pricing increase. So get on board now, and then we'd love to have you as a partner.
You may wonder why Scott is driving a much nicer car, but that's.
It's because of GMC, King Automotive, great partner, and of course made their money back, and I had to go buy a car. So
there you go, exactly.
And we've drank enough and purchased enough Pepsi here that they've added a 4th shift.
Yes. There you go. Hey, we love it. We love making that relationship work here at the Pee Dee. So, Scott, anything you want to wrap with that you want to keep for top of mind for fans?
No, just say, listen, if you haven't been to a game, come out to a game, experience those that have been, and get here early so you can see the light show in the beginning. The cat comes out of the ice and everything fun like that. Like Las Vegas has taught us how to do it right. And so, but if you haven't been here, at least come up to a game and see. I guarantee you'll like it. And for those of you who are showing up and supporting us, we appreciate all your help.
Well, Scott, I appreciate your time and your help here and coming on and letting everybody know what's going on.
It's a pleasure having me.
All right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Well, that's Scott Brand. This is IceCats Insider. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.